is definitely Kid. Like, he just played so well last game.
Yeah.
He's got to be riding the high.
I fully agree, and I think this is a game where he's the one who needs to have a good lane. The matchup against Ember is good. It's slightly less favored. At least it's winnable. It's not one he should ever lose. At worst, you trade farm, you go even. But, he can pressure towers. He can make those moves in rotations. Play around, particularly the Primal Beast, who's going to be very strong early on. If they can win this Primal Beast lane, that's another huge thing for Felt. We've seen Primal Beast lanes, can be very, very swingy. If you go too aggressive, you feed, or other times you go just aggressive enough and you're getting kill after kill. So we'll see which way it goes this time around.
Frostbite. Issei, that's a death.
Yeah.
That was...
And Ember got it.
Yeah, very quick, too. Just kind of walked in, Frostbite, died.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
That was not the start he was hoping for.
Make Kid's life a little bit more difficult, but we'll see how much that's really going to bear down on him. And it puts him, right on a bottle, truthfully. 100 gold away. So.
Yeah. It's definitely annoying because it's more mana to spam, and the way Ember plays this lane is just Sleight of Fist spam. Often, I've seen Leshers even get, casual Ring of Protection just because the constant Sleight can just be pretty brutal to deal with.
Wondering about this Alchemist lane, too, because from what I understand, out these days, you'll want one in Grievel's Greed, but not early. You want to work with Acid Spray and potentially the Unstable Concoction.
Yeah, I think, you can't really get away with Grievel's Greed level 1. Acid Spray is actually a really good, level 1 fighting spell. If you're trading hits in it, the minus armor can be very impactful, especially compared with, CM nukes. You Frostbite, you hold them in the acid for extra right clicks. So we'll see what he gets at level 2, whether it's the Grievel's Greed or Unstable Concoction. But definitely you want to go back for that Greed, level 3 at latest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some heavy levels into the Acid Spray, especially against Fade. If you want to sit here and right-click, that might be an issue if you're standing in the Acid Spray and getting hit with the Frostbite like you were talking about. So we'll see how it goes and how the lane's kind of going to perform. Glimpse level 1 isn't exactly amazing. You're not really putting out much harassment from Shu, but Battle Hunger is going to be there too.
It's at least better than what it used to be. I think the thing with the Glimpseless Battle Hunger is just a lot of damage. Now that Glimpse has this 150 base damage, or max damage early on, but the fact it does good. Oh, wow. They're going for a kill here.
The Acid Spray, so Shu just dies. The call was almost on the money.
Yep.
Almost got a courier, too, out of that. That would have been really good for Penguin Squad bottom. They need to make sure they're keeping this creep equilibrium pretty close, though. I feel like Felt are okay with it pushing in, staying safe under the tower.
And now Axe's Call. Call with no counter helix. That's not a very scary spell. It is a mini little disable, but it's not really something that's going to highly impact this lane. CM goes down, feeds a tower, just looking to reset. You got to, as a support, you got to stay healthy, bring out more regen, have spells to cast. If you're CM in lane with 0 mana, you're useless. So this is a good start for bottom lane for Penguin Squad.
Back into the call, I would assume. Fade, he doesn't end up going to the call. Not that it would really matter, right? He's not at level 3, doesn't have a counter helix, so calling just isn't really worth it too much, other than a couple right clicks from yourself and Disruptor.
And he's kind of low in mana, wants to save his mana maybe for the Battle Hunger in lane. I think we'll see what the plan's going to be there. Does have the double mango though, but this bottom lane seems to be where most of the aggression is going to be coming out, although a lot of harass on the Primal Beast up top as well. Ooh. Very, very aggressive side lanes early on. Oh, Battle Hunger on the creep. Whoopsie daisy.
And not a lot of mana here for Snow either, so he's not able to get the Acid Spray down as consecutively as maybe he would have liked.
Ember?
Yeah, he's getting hit up by Kid. Kid's actually doing really well in the CS, but almost dies, and now they've got the call. It's on to Snow. Thunderstrike gets 2 spins. There was a stun out, but he's going to die in this bottom lane to Shu.
Easy. That's a good Axe player. He's got the spin RNG.
17%. When I said something about Spirit Breaker earlier, just giving him 100%, that's actually chat was like, no, 17% already is 100%. Yeah, and that's true here for Fate.
100%. Yeah, that'd be a nerf. You don't want to mess with Spirit Breaker's bash chances. The same way. Axe, you're like, okay, 17% at level 1. Let's not level this up. Level 2, 3, 4 spin. No. That sounds dicey. Yeah. At the same time, he will want to farm some ancient stacks, so I imagine he will have to level up. But
this Primal Beast is getting beat bad.
yeah,
They are
being a
trying
little
to
rough.
get some damage here out on the Fade, which they do, but you can see Issei, he is really struggling to just stay here healthy as well.
Back at top, they've got a lift, and they're going for the Nature's Prophet and Primal Beast. Great Sprout Ball.
Oh, Arms gonna die afterwards. They get Satoshi, the Leech Seed, kind of holding him on for a second longer. Meanwhile, Kid taking some damage over mid, and he's starting to fall behind in experience, but Fade goes down, and they'll end up trading in the bottom lane too.
Both side lanes just trading kills back and forth. Bit of a bloodbath early on. A lot of aggression as Shu tries to keep the creeps for the Axis respawn, being a good support bro, not taking these last hits, although I mean he'll take what he has to. But yeah, very aggressive side lane stuff, and mid lane's just been, I mean, it's been quiet, but it's also been pretty harass heavy as well, with Rubik rotating.
Ooh, call.
Not really sure they can get a kill though. Yeah.
Yeah, glimpse into the call. No Crystal Maid in there. A little bit rough. Like, Alki's got level 1 into the Greevil's Greed. He's sitting level 4, but the lane's not exactly amazing with 2 deaths already. And they're going to go for Arms once again over top. Fade Bolt, Trample, Telekinesis, and Arms will die. So both carries kind of struggling.
Seems to be the P-Squad answer to the Nature's Prophet is just playing Primal Beast, just able to have a great time in the lane stage, getting on top of Nature's Prophet with the Onslaught, using the Trample to just clear treants, do damage to treants, plus the heroes. It does feel like Primal Beast early on is a good answer to the Nature's Prophet in the lane stage, but we'll see what Nature's Prophet response to this is going to be. So far, not an easy start to this game.
Snow has to be a little bit careful. Like, I understand what they're doing with the acid spray as well as the frostbite, but he continues to walk in and throw a couple right clicks, and I mean, it's just unlucky that he's gotten hit by a couple spins here.
Yeah,
but that's what caused him to die on the previous death, in my opinion, is just like that aggression and unfortunate spins.
It's always hard playing against a hero like Axe when it's out of meta, because you probably don't even see it in many pubs, so you kind of forget about, like, you have to lane and play so differently when you're up against an Axe.
They're going to throw the stun here bottom, and like, it's doing damage, and they've got another frostbite, but Shu's here now, so even like, he's just spinning.
Flames.
He is spinning and winning and killing, and down is the Crystal Maiden? No. Got the kill, so the battle hunger went away. Perfect. I thought he was winning with those spins. He spun like 10 times.
Yeah, they had an idea where, okay, we're going to bring in the Disruptor for a glimpse into Cole. He didn't even kill the creeps, so he had like 2 or 3 creeps on him, but just not enough damage coming out, even with level 3 Helix. Yeah. The pure damage, not quite as good as what Axe used to be back when it was non-pure damage, and as a result, CM able to survive through it all.
Yeah, we'll end up sacrificing again the tower. Meanwhile, Call, can he spin?
Yep.
Can he win this time? With the kinetic field, it looks likely. That spin will get the kill.
Yeah, they've done a good job punishing the Alk whenever the CM's either out of lane, or in this case, CM was just, you know, intentionally dying to a tower to like, CM couldn't help the lane. That's why she had to go die and then TP back in. And if you're the CM, you're probably getting a little bit annoyed. Like, you're like, come on, Snow. Like, when I'm gone, just wait for me to come back to lane. As soon as CM comes back, the Alk has a great time, but you got to play a little bit more passively when the CM's, you know, respawning or going for a pull or something.
They might get the Primal Beast. They do have the Wrath of Nature, and that is a lot of damage coming into Satoshi.
Kid's TP'd up here, but that's not going to amount to much.
I thought, honestly, he might want to go over bottom. They find Fade once again. They're going to pop the ult on Snow. Level 6 available for Fade, so if the spins come in, he might just Culling Blade somebody. So far, 1 spin. 2 spins. Can we count them? Where's the count? Fade not going to be Culling Bladed himself, but they do have another stun, and that should mean a dead Axe.
Nice find for the Alk. His game's slightly being recovered here. Top of the net worth, double bracer, radiant queued up, classic Alk build. You know, always the case with Alk where we talk about you need to be playing from ahead, you need to be top of the net worth.
Satoshi? He came into this lane with 3 heroes behind his own tier 1. That was a little odd, and he's going to die again.
Lash wants a revenge kill, but
Ooh, Chen
What a
walks
sprout.
away. Slight doing a lot of damage to Kitty. Standing in the nature's grass. He's also looking like he is dead to rights. Telekinesis.
Oh, no!
But, oh, Crawler.
He moved him.
They've got the glimpse. Kinetic field. Nature's grasp again. And another kill for the side of Felt. It is
No.
not going the way they wanted in that top lane.
Yeah. And something I'm surprised by is this Leshrac skill build. Going for max Lightning Storm, 0 points in Edict. I feel like you want to be able to make these rotations, but pressuring towers is always such a big part of why you pick the Leshrac. So I do feel like he's limited in what he can do this game because of the skill build. But yeah, that fight at top going heavily in Felt's favor. Ember is off to a great start with all these rotations.
He just lost his arcane boots too. Static Storm. This is the trio. The trilogy of deaths for this Primal Beast. Back to back to back.
Yep.
I don't know about returning to this top lane 3 times like that. Truth be told.
You know, one remake was already one too many, and they went for the full trilogy, and he is not enjoying life up there. And this is kind of, the point of picking the Primal Beast was to try and like have this good lane stage where they get kills, and they initially looked like they were maybe going to be able to do that, but then they've just been a little bit too overly aggressive on that lane since then. Treant Protector doing a good job with the Leech Seed, Nature's Grass, not going for the Living Armor, but that extra Leech Seed has really panned out when it came to like the sustain in this lane.
Use that Overgrowth to get a kill as well. Like your 2k advantage over the Alchemist. Now, granted, this is an Alchemist who only has level 2 in the Grievil's Greed, but still, like, he's the only one kind of doing well at the moment. I say that, but like Ember and Leshrac are still even. It's really Satoshi who just has support farm right now.
Oh yeah, he is literally below the Treant Protector, which is kind of impressive how much from this Treant's actually gotten. He's got Arcane Boots with 800 gold on top of that. 3, 0, and 4 Treant Protector. Chen has just been owning. But yeah, Alchemist looks like we'll have a good timing on Radiance. Hoping at Radiance, kind of a normal, pretty standard out timing. Like the 10 or 11 is like the really good timings, but assuming he gets this and keeps farming, things could turn around for Penguin
Trample
Squad.
mid and Pulverize gets stopped immediately. Just not going to have it for the freezing field that was in place. And really, that's what's the biggest issue, right? Like, when you're playing Primal Beast, your objective is to get a fast BKB, so your Pulverizes are confirmed. And, well, now this BKB is going to be miles away. He just bought a wand, so he's got no gold. He's so far away from a BKB.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be seeing that one anytime soon, or maybe, yeah, like you say, maybe at all, depending on how long this game drags out. It will probably be his first big item. There's not really much else I think that he should be prioritizing. But on the other side, you've got Nax, who's going to probably just fall back, farm some ancient stacks, and he's pretty far from his blink, but he's at least got boots. Oh, sorry, no, he's got blink. What am I talking about? No, yeah, he's had blink for some time. Yeah, so Felt already have the ability to make these plays, and yeah, Primal Beast is just going to be relying on this onslaught in. But so often, like if you read the onslaught coming in, you can just punish it, as we've seen multiple times where Primal Beast has just gone down.
Yeah, easy glimpses, easy work.
Yep.
Now they do have the Radiance, like the farm's going to start to jump up for Snow, but you kind of need his farm to go and Kids, and Kid only has level 1 in the Diabolical Edict. It looks like he's going to die in a second too. They've got the vision, they have the glimpse, they'll get the Culling Blade and take Kid out of the game.
Rubik's
It's just that
too.
easy.
Just
Yeah, Crawler walks into the team, and Onslaught bumps him up into the air. Trample on the back lines into a Static Storm, so they get the kill on a Shu. They'll bring over Yusei. They both get hit by the Searing Chains. There's one dunk, there's 2 dunks, and, looking like an NBA player over here.
Nope. He was watching Mac McClung the other day in the All-Star Dunk Contest.
50s all night.
Yeah. Dude, he was popping off, and that's exactly what Felt's doing here in game number 2. Fade having a hell of a time, and despite the lane not going, perfectly for him, 3 deaths to his name, he's been the big playmaker for Felt here in the mid game.
And this is... I don't know the recovery strategy for an Alchemist lineup, truthfully, at this point. But you got to start taking some towers, and I don't know if that's possible at all.
Yeah, they're kind of just forced to just chill a bit. Like the Leshrac not having Edict means you're limited in your ability to take and pressure towers. So we will see Lesh kind of maybe sync up with the Alk's timing, but
freezing field.
Yeah, some good damage, but
he's looking pretty dead. At least they get that. But again, every time Satoshi goes in, he's getting glimpse back, so he's never able to hold the pulverize.
I think the big time for Penguin Squad is going to be like Alk having BKB Blink. I got to imagine that's probably still the build you go in Alchemist, and I think that's where, you know, your Alk can just be this scary frontliner with a Blink to initiate with the Unstable Concoction, and Leshrac can kind of follow it up. Ideally, Leshrac gets like level 4 Edict as well as completes the Bloodstone by then. And that's where Felt have to be a little bit worried that Penguin Squad can, you know, maybe pull themselves back into this game.
Gosh, they have Blade Mail now on Fade too.
Yeah.
And it's just really rough. And they've got this ward down that spots them. Like, it's just at the end of its life cycle, but it sees Snow, Crawler, and Kid. It sees everybody, honestly. And they're just going to be able to come in with this smoke. This Blink is going to be, if it's on the money, it should be at least 2 quick kills. And it might be Snow first.
I'd love to jump the Alk.
Whoa.
Okay.
He kind of got around the vision. But now he's in the vision, and they will find Crawler.
Somehow completely dodge this smoke gank.
Oh, but they still have the glimpse with that vision. Static Storm charges up the stun.
He'll
end up stunning himself. They'll stay silenced, and then there's the blink into the call. But they've got the Frostbite, Overgrowth. They go to Arms, and if they can get these kills, they're starting to clean up. Snow's not as easy to kill as they thought. Frostbite, they need to avoid the spins. They'll get themselves a second somehow. Penguin Squad are waddling towards a fight victory. Arms trying to TP away. They've got the glimpse on a Snow, so that'll pull him out. And Onslaught. Oh, Pulverize. Ember. He's
a huge
kill. He might die. Freezing Field, Slight again, Remnant over to the triangle, and he's still alive. Snow doesn't have a blink, so he's going to stun himself again.
Yeah, and Ember still with plenty of mana for Remnants will get out of there, but yeah, the fact they completely kind of botched the initiation, which it wasn't like a huge misplay. It was just a bit unfortunate that, you know, the Alk was in the trees when the smoke popped, then Axe blinked, didn't actually catch the Rubik, so they had to really work extra hard even just to kill Crawler's Rubik. And then they just exposed themselves. Like they showed Penguin Squad exactly where they are, so Penguin Squad could kind of rotate in, charge with the Primal Beast first, and have the Leshrac following it up. Lesh did a lot of damage that fight alongside the Alchemist, and Felt just weren't really able to kind of sync up their key spells, most notably the Blink Hole just not really landing.
So off a fight like that, let's show the odds from esportsbet.io. They should show up on your screen, and it shows Felt at 1.09. I mean, with an Alk lineup like this, it's kind of searching into the unknown with the way the meta's been recently, but I could still see them putting it together, especially off the back of a fight like that.
Yeah, definitely signs of life, but still an uphill battle. Alk is still Alk where, you know, you don't want to ever be behind.
Would be big. Oh, they see him. They just need Pulverized, but they've got Isig coming from the side, and that should be a dead profit. Static Storm, Kinetic Field don't do anything for them now, and off that, also Crawler getting himself some trees. The Nature's Call. Fade also getting low. The chase was on, but they don't have the damage to get the kill. They'll also take out Shu. So the map is opening.
Yep. Really great find for the extra kill on with the CM down bottom. And yeah, multiple finds for them. Primal Beast is suddenly in the enemy Ancients, getting very close to that. We talked about that BKB taking a long time to finish, but with fights and pickoffs like this, suddenly Satoshi is only like 1,500 gold away. So very realistic BKB around that maybe 20 to 22 minutes mark of the game. Snow's been given time to finish his BKB, and if he can, maybe get... Oh, it doesn't look like he's going to go for that blink, but yeah, any follow-up items will come very quickly for the Alk, and fights can start to look pretty good for them. There isn't really enough damage on the Felt side to address the Alchemist if he's ever got BKB up in any fight.
Chen was looking for the Primal Beast and just spot him. He's obviously in the creeps now, but Crawler's right here. Nature's Call off cooldown, or on cooldown right now, excuse me, and he's been using that to try and push a little bit. But they do have this Tree Protector. The one thing we really haven't talked about is ability to save these towers. Telekinesis, Glimpse used, Shu. Going to be spotted. Crawler gets hit by the Onslaught, and with Glimpse already being used, they don't exactly have the chase for this. They do have this Crystal Maiden. They want to go. Crawler staying a little bit too long. Didn't exactly get a spell that will help him, and Arms is going to be right there to just hang out.
He didn't quite get the memo from Satoshi to GTFO bot lane, yeah.
As we're leaving. What?
Yeah. There's creeps. Channeling his inner core player, like, I got to finish this neutral camp, then I'll get out. But just the support, not the end of the world, especially if they can pressure and maybe even take this top tier 1 tower. I mean, he kind of opened up this entire top side of the map for Penguin Squad to get some good farm in.
Top tier 1. Still hard to get. It is never easy with the Treant Protector in the game. Tier 2 is going to be taking bottom, though, if you're not too careful. I think it's actually already gone.
Yep. Not much you can do about that. The BKB timing for Nature's Prophet, something they haven't really got the best answers for. A lot of their damage at this point is magic damage, so part of the reason why that top fight went so well for Penguin Squad was the fact that Nature's Prophet was just short of having a BKB there. Does mean Arms is going to be a little bit limited in the damage department. Just the Maelstrom Midas, no Gleipnir just yet, but it won't take long for a Nature's Prophet to finish farming that one.
All that being said, though, Snow is starting to like outpace the Nature's Prophet in a decent way.
Yeah,
he's going for the AC. You've got Kid kind of recovering. Problem is still Satoshi far behind, and he's almost got the BKB, which I think is really the turn-on marker for him. But with it being so far out, it just seems rough.
Yeah. I think the good news is, like, yeah, he's under farm, but as long as he's able to get in and initiate with a BKB and be tanky, he can still kind of do his role. Like, I think heroes like Ember are similarly kind of under farmed for how this game started. Yeah, Ember's got similar farm to the Leshrac, but Maelstrom Mage Slayer, like, he's going to be a little bit careful in these fights. They've kind of prioritized giving Fade a better game. He's got a lot more net worth on his axe compared to the Ember.
Wink call into the onslaught. They've got the Blade Mail. Static Storm even committed to this one. You say hiding in the trees. They'll get the Culling Blade to get the kill there. Crystal Maiden's Courier has to go the other way. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, and we'll steal the Searing Chains and throw them onto this Ember. Actually taking a decent amount of damage. They were looking for the stun on the Telekinesis, but won't quite land it. That could have been a kill.
Yeah, that was fortunate for Ember that it was just slightly off with the Split Earth timing, and they do get the kill on the Primal Beast, but quite a bit being committed, and right off of that, Penguin Squad say, okay, we don't have Primal Beast, that's no problem. We're just going to charge on out in smoke, try find a pick off. They kind of have an idea that felt maybe split up there, and that's something they want to punish.
Who can they find? Maybe Axe. Getting a kill on Fade is not terrible here. Obviously, you kind of want to shut down the Nature's Prophet, but that's not happening at the moment. They're going to go and find themselves Chen instead. So, getting the Treant Protector, that means there's no heal for these towers at the moment. So, can they take a tower while the Treant Protector is dead?
I don't think there's... I mean, mid-tier 1 would be the most appealing. Roshan, though, would be a much bigger objective. Yeah, and they're going for it. I mean, Penguin Squad, despite, not having the best start, they're showing a lot of life here with the pick-off into the Roshan pit. Only 10 seconds on Treant, though.
Sight, Searing Chains, TP in. They need to get the stun so he doesn't get that BKB off. Oh, they do! Arms!
Wow.
Did so quickly. The onslaught. Do they have the control to get the kill here now onto the Ember? Remnant back over to the side, but they've got the trample. They'll get the kill on the Ember, too. Oh my god!
Oh, getting that insta stun on Nature's Prophet, blowing him up before he can BKB. He just TP'd right into his death, and then the Ember kind of followed up, so they'll get themselves Roshan. Glimpse away on the Primal Beast to stop any follow-up kills. Crawler's still looking for maybe a Telekinesis in on someone, but doesn't have much follow-up, but that's a huge Aegis to grab.
Huge fight to win, because
yeah,
it was your 1 and your 2 dying, and then the Aegis. Like, that brings Kid back into the game, and he's been kind of on the edge of being in this game again, but also Satoshi, now he's got that BKB. And they can work with BKB pulverized at this point. Oh, dear. Not feeling too great here for Felt.
No, and it's just the general, like, team cohesion isn't really there. It's like not just that, you know, the game's kind of slipping away. It just feels like they're not really on their A game today. You know, the way they're approaching picking some of these fights, definitely being affected by the fact they're playing with a stand-in, even though I don't think Arms is doing anything terrible when it comes to his play. It's just the team as a whole just seem to have been thrown off by it.
Disruptor's here. He TP'd into the tier 2. Blink in from Crawler. Glimpse away. Can he steal Glimpse? Yeah.
That's a great spell.
TP into the fight, just get glimpsed away, or blink from Fade and get glimpsed. Like, this gives some opportunity, and they're gonna go. Overgrowth, it hits the Crystal Maiden. They come in with the TP from Arms, but he's going to be hit with that Frostbite. Now they go to the Freezing Field. The Onslaught coming through. They should be able to get the kill on a Chen. They'll end up losing Issei, but BKB's been popped on the other side of the fight. They've got the Searing Chains inside of the Alchemist. The Pulverize with the BKB. That means it's full duration with the buyback coming out from Chen. So now, do they have the damage to blink call on a 2? Can he spin? Can he win? Alk is low, charging up the stun, looking over at the Ember, but he needs to throw it out, and it doesn't land. He uses that slipe, but the stun comes in from the Leshrac. They've got the Glaive here coming through from Arns. He's on the other side of the fight. They look over as the Remnant's going to be on the other side once again.
Oh,
Blink call, calling Blade. Can he get another? Dunks on dunks on dunks. He's scoring 50s all over the place, and now they're going to look over the Leshrac, who's coming over to the side, but they've got the kinetic field. It's up. The damage from the Pulse Nova with the Bloodstone. There's the call again, and dunk on him as well. This is a just segment of dunks. It's the dunk contest, and Axe is on every single one.
Whoo! Look, even D Wade's not going to stop him scoring 50s on this one. No, nothing stopping Fade from popping off with the Axe, and just a hell of a like multiple 2-hero calls on the Leshrac plus Alchemist, the two most like high impact damage dealing cores of these fights, just get completely locked down. The damage being returned with the Blade Mail, the spins, just setting up and keeping his team alive. Like Ember got glimpsed back into the middle of like the entire Penguin Squad team there, and despite that, he was like bailed out because of these Axe calls.
Yeah, avoiding that stun as well that was coming in from Snow. It ends up that Arms has his BKB hit this entire time. He never even uses it. Like, that's insane.
He knew. He's like, I don't need this one.
Does he use it here even? No? Okay. They'll just get another dunk. Sure. Now he's got 7 stacks on the cold armor. So 10 armor harvested. That's a way to put it. That's for sure. And if that fight goes well for Penguin Squad, I want to say, like, where that fight was ending, they could have pushed to the high ground. Yeah,
I mean, they're very quickly, like, their draft was starting to snowball back in their favor. You know, you've got Lesh Edict, you've got an Alchemist who's kind of hit his timings, but now you lose a fight, and all of a sudden the question goes back to, like, uh-oh, we have an Alch. Like, you know, we're kind of limited in just how much we can scale into the late game. You know, our team is going to kind of fall off a little bit. And on the other side, you know, I feel like there's just a bit better with all 3 cores seeming to have good late games here. A Primal Beast, we've talked a bit about, looking a bit more like a support than a core at this point. Does raise some concerns for Penguin Squad the longer this game goes on. So that was like the fight where they win that fight, they could just win the game.
So now they'll get the Primal Beast to reconnect. They've got some time before they're all alive. So it is going to be rough sailing for the side of Penguin Squad at the moment. Especially like that. That's how they use their Aegis. That was an advantage they should have held on and kept.
Yeah, it was kind of an awkward spot to take a fight. The Train Protector was like positioned nicely in some fog over the trees. Even though the team had a nice freezing field, it just felt like almost a little bit too forced. And felt we're able to do a good job of just like baiting them in, hit and run with the Ember, just constant poke, limit the damage. The Mage Slayer pickup has been really nice to limit the Leshrac's damage output, even some of the Primal Beast damage output being partially magical as well. So good itemization, just making everyone on the Felt side hard to actually kill and bring down.
Soon they're also going to have the Static Storm upgrade from the Disruptor. He's almost got the Ags. He's 800 gold away from that. He's been gifted with the Fillet Stone. But this is, yeah, Ags next. How are you going to feel about this Ags for Leshrac? He's a long ways out from it, but nihilism in this game?
Yeah, it seems pretty nice. I The ethereal, I mean, especially against like Nature's Prophet, perhaps more useful than some of the others, but just amping up some of the magic damage and just, at this point, Lesh just wants to do as much damage as possible, so I think he sees this as just a way to do even more increased damage.
I felt like things were kind of like rolling together too, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough from the Leshrac. I feel like he could have spiraled out of control, and this game kind of getting slowed down here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think this is the part where you have like a crazy fight and sequence like that where Penguin Squad's coming back in, they're, pushing the momentum, and then they go a little bit too far, and now they're like, okay, let's settle down, let's farm, let's wait till we hit like a big item timing, or, next Roshan is, of course, going to be on both teams' radar.
Daedalus for arms.
Nope. Yeah, his damage is the one I look at, like single target damage that's scaling right now, and arms is definitely a player to look out for. Has the level 20 talent now as well with the leash. It's going to be very, very annoying.
If they're able to find themselves the kill on arms early, like, I do think they win these fights, but that's easier said than done. Like, the only reason they got in the fight before the last was because he TP'd right into them. And
Yeah.
got a chance to get that BKB off. Hell, he didn't need the BKB in the last fight.
Yeah, and I think that's probably, a bit of a learning experience. Like, okay, this is,
Ooh.
I got to be careful about how I approach these fights.
TP attempt.
Got the CM.
Yeah, CM's dead, but considering what was up for grabs in that lane, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, they'll take it. They want to farm and push it out anyways. They do bring maybe more heroes than they need to just for farming a lane and killing a CM, but not the end of the world considering we're kind of at this more passive part where both teams are kind of waiting around a little bit for Roche. Lesh does run into the Ember here.
Let's see. BKB. Arms is in, and that is going to be a lot of damage. Like we were talking about with that Daedalus, Kid is just going to die, and with the time given, now they've got that upgrade with the Static Storm. Yep. Here they go.
Yeah, not having any kind of BKB or way to get away from the Ember just means, Ember runs into Lesh and it's just a free kill. Soldier, you're going to push forward, probably aim for this tier 2 tower. This will give them even more map control and ability to, set up and posture around Roshan, get that vision up, keep the map pressure on. Maybe even get some pressure onto the high ground here.
Yeah, if you're Lesh, you really don't want to buy back. Gleipnir?
Oh my gosh.
And
that's a lot of damage.
I feel just a little bit. Probably would have forced him to pop that BKB if he had just got that kinetic field up in time.
No. They're trying to defend this without buying back. And I mean, they're definitely not going to buy back at this point. They don't want to commit like a Primal Beast BKB. They just want to commit nothing at all and limit how much damage their tier 3 tower takes. Looks like they'll be A-okay here. I don't really see any way Felt maintains the pressure. If anything, they're better off backing off, getting some more farm. Yeah, you see Nature's Prophet farm enemy Ancients, TPs to his own Ancients. He recognizes that this game is slowing down, and Roche is still a few minutes away at best, maybe even more. So they just have to be careful not to get caught, because they would have been spotted kind of backing off and splitting up, and now there's an opening for Penguin Squad to try and find somebody.
But Creeps freely pushing in, that probably gives them an inkling at this that, hey, well, they're smoked. And even a slight thrown out by the Ember. Onslaught going the other way. There's the BKB. So can they get the control? Blink call on to 2. Fades on it once again. Crawler's going to end up dead. They've got the Static Storm. That means no BKB here for the Alk. They get the Culling Blade onto Satoshi. And the smoke goes wrong again. That's going to be a 4th dying as Issei hits the deck. And Leshrac can only just go back to base.
This has been a really good sequence of fights for Felt. Just from one good team fight to the next, and with 4 dead, 10k gold lead now, they're just using their catch and pick off really well. You've got the Axe Blade Call, the Glimpse, the Nature's Prophet, you can kind of TP anywhere. So the fact they kind of split the map and then force Penguin Squad to like make these tricky plays, and you always have vision almost because lanes are being shoved out, it makes it really hard to take good fights on the Penguin Squad side.
Tree and Overgrowth gonna die, but Kid in a odd spot. Fade should just be able to get the call. He doesn't even need to blink in. Gets it on the edge. Stun hits both shoes here as well. Kinetic field. Kid trying to survive, but never had a chance. Glimpse and stolen glimpse.
Freezing Field in the trees, CM.
Oh, CM not going to get the kill on his shoe. Frostbite still trying.
East
and
wants
will get it. All right.
Nice.
At least he gets that. Satoshi's going to die to arms up top, by the way. So that's a bit of an issue. But they caught this Prophet and killed him. Blink call, though, now with the Blade Mail. BKB still available for this Alchemist, and he'll use it to run. Charges up a stun, throws it onto the Ember, and avoided.
Yep. Looks like Axe may just finish off the melee racks here. It does have a creep wave coming in a couple of seconds here. Only Alchemist alive for now. Rubik in 10. Buybacks in a couple of heroes, but probably... I'm sure, maybe you can even defend this melee racks, but it looks like he just has no interest and he'll let Fade take it by himself. Very surprised to see Alk just walk away and go farm some neutrals. I actually think that maybe could have been a melee racks that he defends.
So now that's just innately pushing in, and that's a problem.
Nope.
Roche up in a minute, by the way. Octarine Core. Frax.
Ooh. He's having fun. When you get to go these kind of item builds on Axe, it's always a good time. Getting super farm, getting some more kind of cooldown reduction to give yourself just constant uptime on Berserker's Call. 8-second cooldown with a 3-second duration. Not to mention the items, the way it affects, you know, your Blade Mail, your Blink, your BKB as well.
The question here is, can Penguin Squad sneak another Roche? Can they win a fight to get another Roche?
Ooh. I think sneaking it is not in the cards. You're up against like Trance and stuff, but if you can win a fight.
Oh my god.
Pain.
That is some fast damage on a crawler. He does not have buyback. The BKB early usage, but here comes Arms with his own BKB and damage of it. Well, Nature's Prophet is enough to get the kill onto the Leshrac. Glimpse. BKB, that might have wanted to be used before the Glimpse connected, but they're going to jump in with the stun. Onslaught pushes him onto the high ground. Now they've got the stun coming in from the Leshrac, but they go to the Culling Blade, and I think he accidentally hit it onto the Alchemist. They're unable to get the kill there onto Arms. They'll end up losing the Leshrac. Now they've got this Alk trying to get some damage here onto the Ember, and they've got enough. Sleight of Fist, jump in, got a Chen, and Issei falls to Arms because he's on the low ground right-clicking away. I don't think that call landed, but it's not going to matter. They've got the Sprout leeching. He can't go anywhere, and they'll take the Alk.
Yeah, too much damage coming from Arms now. He completed a full Scotty to go with the Daedalus, so he's slowing everybody. He's kiting the Alchemist and limiting his health regen as well at the same time. A great item pickup for this game. And unfortunately for Penguin Squad, it was a decent-ish fight, but they're right under enemy vision. They get the kill on the Ember, but there just wasn't enough follow-up. And this Leshrac, it feels like really needed like maybe a BKB or something. Like it's not a great BKB game, but every single fight just feels like Leshrac can't really stay alive long enough to do serious damage with the Pulse Nova and all the AoE magic damage, which is what they, you know, relies on having that teammate to also dish out damage.
Onslaught. Oh,
Okay.
the silence from the Mindbreaker. First hit, so the Pulverize. Now it gets off, but that's not going to matter. Arms is going to be able to just turn this one around. They'll take out Satoshi. They'll look over for this Crystal Maiden. BKB from Arms. They'll actually focus the buildings while the rest of the team will go to work. And they get a full team wipe.
Yep. Looks like we're going to a game 3 here, B-Cup. There's not much left, not much fight. The Alk pick, you know, a first for Div 2, but it just wasn't enough. And, you know, Alk looked okay here, but it still looked like the same hero that it always was. And that kind of style of carry just doesn't really fit the meta when you're playing against such a fast-paced team who has Nature's Prophet, Axe, Ember, these heroes that come online super early that